Hey, good morning, Kuro. How's it going? Let's see. Let's see if today will be as crazy as yesterday. Good morning, Holmes. Uh, yeah, I gotta say, yesterday was interesting. I would definitely, I think, still kick people if they would be flooding. I wouldn't ban. I would try to kick them. Um, and but it's still, I don't know. I guess I gotta. Who do you know? Like who's a happy guy, who's flooding for a happy raid, or who's just being a d-bag, you know? And second lesson is don't do 8 characters in 30 minutes. It's not gonna be doable. Infinite divide, yeah, the banhammer just everyone. Um, yeah, Schmaze, I won't ban people. Um, I will like time out. That's pretty good. I think that's like a timed mute, right? Like they can't post anything for a period of time. I think they got a little bit hurt by getting bans, obviously. Uh, but whatever. I had to react, and in a way, it was, justified. Um, and I also couldn't keep track of the raid, like who's writing what. I just saw a wall of text. Anyways, I'll try to act differently next time. um, and thanks for talking to them while I saw that some of you were writing. So thanks for that. Trying to ease off, ease out the reactions. So thanks for the help. Um, Good morning, Michal, Schmeiz, Kuru, Infinite Divide, Ohms. All right, it was an interesting experience. Definitely a learning experience. Right, so how about some? Hey, Captain Jetlag. Good morning. Like I was just saying, thanks for everyone for the help in the raid yesterday. I saw that some of you were writing, trying to, ease off the saltiness. So let's do this topic stuff. Monotween investigator from Saturn. What? Crazy raid. Ah! Broken biohazard suit. None. What the? Glowworm collector. You guys have smoked some serious things. All right, let's see if my fantastic dice works. All right. You're predicting number 4. Okay, let's see. If it's 4, I'll be fucking with. Oh, number 1. This is number one. Oh no! Alms, super strange topic. Alms, what are you doing? I have no idea what a monotween is. Investigator from Saturn by Alms. A guy with two heads. All right. Craziest topic ever, I think. I think Alm is top of the list of strange topics. Definitely a top three. Um, a monotween, I've never heard, but a monotween investigator from Saturn. Poof, all right. I think he put some green spice in his coffee. All right, let's do this. Um, all right. Okay. I want to play with that um, overlay um, thing I played with the other day. It was interesting. So a monotween, two heads. But why is it mono? Mono means singular. But whatever. Let's do a monotween investigator from Saturn. So my thought is just two heads, double the amount of investigations. So I'm going to try to give it four arms, two heads, and play on the classic private eye, you know, like with a coat and all these things. Trench coat detective, but in space. So we'll see. We'll see. Definitely want the sense of. I think a little bit. Let's try to go for a little bit like Guardians of the Galaxy esque trench coaty feeling. I really like the way they crafted the universe in Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, it's one body but two entities in it. I have no idea of the reference there on Phantom Menace speaker in the race. So two entities in one body, right? So it's not an actual. Okay, all right. Let's flip it around then. Let's do one head, but then there's like this spirit entity that is the investigator. Let's go with that and see where that leads. So I was thinking then the core of the body will have will be with a lighter value. So let's just let's try to do something. Oh, in Phantom Menace, with the that's with the that red-headed Sith, right? Whatever his name was. Yeah, yeah. It's Guardians of the Galaxy. I actually really liked it. Such a cool movie. I think they captured definitely like what people assumed space life would be in the 80s. You know, like it felt so retro. for me it spoke like felt very like correct. Felt like like childhood, but done in a modern way for me. Probably, I mean, I'm born in the 80s. I remember the 80s and all the cartoons and so on that was shown in the 80s. Um, so for me, it feels very kind of accurate to that. No, it's all good. Don't worry. We're not shitting on you. Don't worry. It's all good. It's just, I think it's just joking around a little bit that you're a little bit on fire today, I think. Maybe you're happy. It's good. It's all good. All right. So yesterday was, yeah, I didn't feel like posting the image. The image was such a failure. Um, it wasn't fair, to post it because um, I hardly had time to draw because it was just all uh, managing the raid. The last like a third of the whole time was lost, and usually the last third is where everything starts to coming together picture wise. Like the 2/3 is just build up, and then last third is the polish. And yeah, but I'm gonna post the video just for the sake of history, like the raid episode. um, but I doubt that I will post the image. The image is kind of quite shitty. Okay to post a bad day sketch, but I think this was just far off. Good morning, Atsuki. Dear Bard, maybe, maybe. I'm thinking of picking up my steampunk Star Wars though. I might do that on Saturday. Start doing some new steampunk Star Wars illustrations of the characters missing. I think it's time to do a new one. I started on Darth Maul 2 years ago. I haven't continued him, um, but I think some new character would be more interesting. Of uh, maybe from the Force Within. Maybe it was his name Kylo Ren. Maybe do Kylo Ren as steampunk Star Wars. So I'm thinking about doing that instead of the steampunk. What's her name? Yesterday's topic. Snow White. I don't think. I think steampunk Star Wars has way more traction, and I think it's good for traffic. So I think I'll just focus on that. Have to be a little bit smart about it. What to show. To make it interesting. Dear Bard, yeah, Darth Maul was the red-headed guy with that black pattern. Um, a fun little little bit of information. My friend, creative creative partner, he has a meeting with George Lucas. He will pitch a movie idea, and I'm making a picture for him, offline obviously, because it's a pitch picture. But yeah, it's going to be cool to know that George Lucas will personally be listening to my creative partner and looking at my art, Star Wars art, which is good fun. Kuro, yeah, I will stream it. I will stream the steampunk stuff on Saturday. I think it's time. It's time. Besides, the challenge, right, is up. The 2 week challenge is the deadline is Saturday, right? If I'm not mistaken. So 10 minutes in, I'd say I'm in pretty good state. Um, Schmaze, I think I think fan art pieces done right can give you a lot of attention. Um, but what that attention does is just opening doors rather than give you a job. I think fan art done correctly gives you shitload of traffic. Um, so much traffic if done right that you can get jobs out of it, right? Because you get just a high amount of eyes, right, looking at your art. Um, sorry, some phlegm in there. Didn't want to allow me to talk. Yeah, so fan art, I think you can't just do, as I see it, you can't just do the same thing again. It's really got to be a unique take on it in order for it to be valid. You know, why would the creator of, let's say, Ninja Turtles look at your fan art when they have artists drawing Ninja Turtles over and over, and they're doing it at a state where it's crazy good. The quality level is very high. So when doing fan art, you have to give it a creative twist to it. You have to give it an edge, be it maybe visually, like illustration wise, you've done it in your style, but you haven't redesigned the characters, or you haven't given the characters themselves a twist. But it has to be standing out somehow, right? Like take the example of those amazing Star Wars posters that were on internet for the longest times. Very stylized, really cool looking Star Wars posters. I'm quite sure that because they got so much traction, people doing Star Wars saw them and probably contacted to some degree, either just to give recognition or job um, um, what was it called? Offer. That word took a while to come out. Yeah, so it's definitely job offer. I mean, I've got a job offer from Star Wars, uh, probably because of my Star Wars stuff. I've been on StarWars.com, their main webpage, because of my Star Wars stuff. I've gotten emails from art directors and at Disney and all these things just because of my steampunk Star Wars things. I mean, I've been on major websites like Huffington Post and CNET and all these things, due to just doing my steampunk Star Wars because they got so much traction. They became viral. You know, I'm getting a couple of millions of hits a year. You know, so it's a lot of traffic if done right. Captain Jetlag, yeah. I mean, a lot of things is like you don't need to bring anything completely new to the table. It has to still be recognizable. But like for example, like I've done now and then, I do now and then like play with the Zelda world. I redesign the Zelda, uh, characters in Zelda and things like that, or I do some Super Metroid fan art and things like that, and they get a lot of traction as well, and I get a lot of traffic for those, uh, and I'm quite sure that people uh, that's doing those games have seen them to some degree, uh, and maybe nothing will happen, but the fact that they have probably seen it, means that the chances of seeing something, the creators are seeing it and giving you as the fan artist, giving you potentially recognition or opportunity. So I think it's a good thing to do fan art if you do it correctly, in a way where it's where you bring something to the table. Because if you're just going to draw the same character exactly the same way, like thousands of others, it's going to lose that edge. I think you just got to be a little bit smart about it, and obviously deliver something something interesting and cool to look at. What's the take on it? Look at viral things, right? They have a degree of nailing whatever decisions that they've made, creating that piece of art into something that's easily relatable and shared, and um, yeah, it's not hard to understand. Like it has to be instant recognition. It has to raise some sort of reason for them to share it. What's the hook? It can be layout, it can be reimagination of something, it can be gender swap, whatever. It has to bring something. Good morning, Tormund. Schmeiz, uh, the intention of them was like I have told the story many times before, but I can do it again. It was on CG Society. It was a monthly competition, like modeling. And what I used to do when I was working at Sega, I used to come in early. Um, so whenever I went to work, I came in like an hour earlier, um, and we could leave earlier, but it allowed me also to have 30 minutes where, um, occasionally 30 minutes where the kind of leeway of how early you could come in, we came in a bit too early. So it allowed me to kind of surf around websites and kind of fill my head with inspiration. And I also kind of like had a deal with the art director that I spent just a little bit of time researching, like looking at trailers, going on art forums, everything to just kind of stay on top of things, right? So one thing that I used to do was go to 3D forums and looking at monthly competitions, just to see like what are people modeling, what's the trends and so on, just to stay on top of things. So one topic monthly or weekly, rather weekly model modeling challenge was steampunk Star Wars. It was just random themes, right, smashed together. And this week it was steampunk Star Wars. And I thought, oh, that's a cool idea. So I went in to look at it, and it was just like 3 pictures of some sort of Admiral Yoda, like he was some sort of sea captain. Uh, kind of shitty images. And I was like, I wasn't too excited about them, but I was excited about the idea of steampunk Star Wars. So I took on the the challenge of filling up their um, reference part with my own designs. So what I started doing was just started drawing on paper first, a lot of sketches about the characters and posting them there, um, like updates daily. So a lot of people like started enjoying my redesigns of steampunk Star Wars. So I started painting them, um, and lots of people started modeling. I just kept on creating, and the weekly challenge turned into monthly challenge, that turned into like a quarterly challenge. That thread never died. More and more people just started modeling all my thumbnails and designs, and I just kind of kept on creating. Um, then at some point they had to put an end to the challenge because no one else was doing the other weekly challenges. Everyone was just doing steampunk Star Wars, um, and I kept just creating. Anyways, at the end of it, it was a huge gallery of lots and lots of models. So they just made a gallery show of it, and as per usual, I always tell people that of course you can model anything that I draw that's not owned by anyone else, but you have to credit me. So um, all the models that were done had a link to me, written or clickable. So I just started getting more and more interviews about them and people putting them in galleries. And then I kept doing more designs, painting them prettier, like all the time, more and more. And it just started generating more and more traffic until like I was on more or less everywhere. And when that gallery was published, that final submission gallery, I got so much traffic, my server died. It was like around 100,000 visits a day, and it just kind of crashed it. But the traffic never really stopped, and it have kept going all this time. The peak was like 8 million a year, I think, and it's settled now on 4 million, 5 million, between 4 and 6 millions a year, ever since 2008. So it paid off for me quite a lot, but it's been very conscious decisions. I have put effort into a lot of those illustrations, and things like that. It's not just any random luck. It's a deliberate. I tried to be smart about it. So it's time, I think, to do more. And lots and lots and lots of people are cosplaying it. I don't know how many, but And there was a period where I just needed to Google my name or steampunk Star Wars and cosplay, and it would be so many hits. So that's an interesting story. Yeah, you need to. The interesting thing as well is like, what if you don't have a website? Like, I know my website got all this traffic, all this recognition, you know, a central hub of traffic. It was already established. Um, I mean, at that time, my website wasn't anything special. Uh, it still isn't in the sense of design and layout, but at least I have my own URL for years now. Like, I bought one many, many years ago in my name. Um, I thought it was important. I want all traffic to go to my name, so it would never be lost in some other company's website, right? Like ArtStation. Because if you go viral, ArtStation is having the benefits of the traffic, and people will remember ArtStation more than your viral image, right? So that's in a way why, like, I really make sure that I have a website and all the traffic goes to the website primarily. I mean, I can do my website way better for it. Um, it's not in any way, shape, or form a good website for managing traffic or all these things that a website should have in order to maximize everything. But at least I have a URL with my name in it, and all my pictures have a URL leading back to my website. You know, so if an image goes viral, they can always find their way to my website, and it's not relying on that someone is keeping their website up, like CG Hub. When CG Hub crashed, there's so many people who are like, "Oh, I don't have a portfolio anymore." Like, I was in contact with this marketing person, right? And she said, you have to set everything up before it goes viral. Because if it goes viral and this image gets a lot of traffic and you don't have any link backs to your site, you don't have your name on it, you don't have all that crazy traffic, the millions of hits, the millions of views, just falls to the site that's hosting the image and not to you. You don't get any benefit of going viral. And that's I think that's a shame. I think it's super important that there is some degree of um, what's it called, foresight. Uh, I don't know about that word. Like, plan ahead, you know, and not just um, if you're gonna work on something and show it. First, obviously, you need to work on the image, make it showable, and do everything you can to make it have potential of being viral. And if it does go viral, you have prepared for it. I mean, obviously, putting time into an illustration has to be um, you know, you want to reap the rewards of working on an illustration for forever, you know. That's at least how I see it. I don't want to waste time and opportunity that way. Like, I'd rather get something out of it, be it traffic or I don't know. Michal, yeah, you'd be surprised when you do have analytics on your website and you do see like where the traffic comes from. It's really interesting. And you get better at setting it up and linking and all these things. And you never know this statistics. You never know this potential benefit when hosting on ArtStation and so on. They get all the benefit. And you can't take part in that data, those analytics. No, nothing. No, it's out of your hand. So I mean, for me, you have to think about like what's good about having an ArtStation portfolio versus having your own. I mean, obviously, when you're on your own, all the traffic that goes there, you have to generate, right? ArtStation helps generating traffic because it's an umbrella site, right? It has lots of portfolios, lots of traffic going into the site, and the chance that you are picked out of the millions are low, but at least there is that traffic that allows you to potentially, you know, be on the front page and so on. So that's stuff you have to consider and weigh. You know, what's the game plan? I'm not saying having a portfolio on ArtStation is bad. You just have to be more. You have to be cautious, or no, not cautious, conscious about the decisions you're making. Informed decisions, right? It's the best kind. I think this is it, right? Time's up. Kincaid, that's the way to pronounce your nickname, I guess. For me, I only post stuff on ArtStation that is finished illustrations. I don't put, I mean, I put the gallery of warm-up sketches from last year, some of them on there, who are a little bit more presentable. But that's about it. As soon as something is more work done, finished, that goes up. But lately, I think I need to remove a lot of images from there because I have lots and lots of old images on my ArtStation that doesn't reflect correctly on my skill set. Even though they are popular, I have to start thinking about, is it worth showing versus traffic versus correct representation of my skill set or where I want to be as a face upwards, you know. All right, time's up. Yeah, so thanks for that topic, the weird monotween. I've never heard that term before, but there we go. So thanks for that. Uh, I wish you all have a great day, and good night. Depends on where you are. Uh, I wonder if I can. I kind of got sidetracked here. Too much fun. Ah, let's go with that. With, without, with, without. Let's get back some of that gray in the highlights. All right, can't do anything more on it. Um, so thanks, Captain Jetlag. Yeah, uh, yeah. This depends on how you want to like show. Um, King Kane. I have no idea. Uh, don't know. Art Station. You have to look. Uh, anyways, here. Thanks all. See you tomorrow morning. Have a fantastic day, night, everything. Here comes the outro.